Right? Is this one any different compared to last year at spring training?
Yeah, quicker ramp up. I think, yeah, I mean, less new faces for me specifically. I think we have more returners just in general, but yeah, it's good to be around the guys again that, you know, and get to know some new guys too.
What was it like to throw a live one today?
It felt good. It was my first one, just, you know, one of those things where you kind of got to get it out of the way a little bit. But yeah, it felt good. I think stuff was good, a little spraying it a little bit, but it's the quickest my body's moved this offseason, so, or since last season, so to be expected a little bit, but felt good and stuff was good, so I'm happy with that.
How did you throw?
25.
Paul, when did you start planning out how you wanted this 7 year ago? What you wanted to accomplish in the offseason so that whenever you came in here, you were in the best position for 2025?
Yeah, it probably started around August of last year. We started thinking about it. Just based on stuff that we had observed throughout the season last year, and then you know, we have good coaches, people that I trust to, you know, for a plan, and so we developed a good plan from basically when the season ended, or a little before the season ended last year, to be ready for, you know, day one of spring training.
Paul, go ahead. No, go to Alex.
Ben commented that, you know, your first bullpen, some stuff already looked different and better, you know, in his eyes. I mean, does it feel better than, you know, what we saw last year already?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, my body feels really good. The whole, you know, best shape of my life thing, I don't know about that. But you know, I'm in good shape. I feel good. I'm ready for a large volume, a large workload this year. So, you know, worked on some stuff during the off season, and, you know, honed in some stuff from last year, and but, you know, I really feel like we're in a good spot.
Paul, what do you envision as the next step in your evolution as a pitcher as you get to year two?
Just being more efficient, really. I think it boils down to that, and there are a number of different ways to do that, but that's the big one. Just get guys out earlier.
Is that hard for us? I mean, you know, you're a strikeout guy. You've struck out a lot of guys in your career. Is it hard to sort of make that, thinking, well, I'm okay getting outs in 3 or less, as opposed to one out there and just mowing them down?
Yeah, I mean, that's you know, that's going to be my identity. I'm not, you know, definitely not going to try to strike out fewer people, but that's I mean, just with my stuff and presence and that kind of thing, I'm going to get my strikeouts, but just a matter of, you know, limiting the 1-0, 2-0 counts, that kind of thing. That's more how I'm thinking about it.
When you go ahead.
I was going to say, being more efficient, is that something you can work on over these next 6 weeks, or is that more of a, you know, I guess, mindset thing once regular season games start up?
Yeah, no, it's both for sure. I mean, getting ahead, winning the 0-0, 0-1, 1-1, you know, winning those counts, that stuff's important. So that's, you know, something that starts now. Frankly, it started today. I wasn't very good at it today, but I think it'll come. So I think it's both. I think it's a mindset thing, and you got to figure out how to do it with your body, you know, within that mindset, I guess. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think it's something that I'll, you know, hopefully I'll know how to do and not explain. You know how to do it better than I know how to explain it.
How much was this offseason about sharpening versus tinkering, or is there any new pitches that was?
Yeah, no, a couple new pitches, but yeah, I mean, just sharpening. Like, I've been this offseason was different than last because it was shorter, but we also had to show up in a little different shape than last year. You know, trying to make the team is different than, you know, kind of knowing that you're on the team. So I had a little bit of slower progression. My body was in a different spot, you know, in December and January than it was last December and January. Yeah, I mean, because I was throwing 95 or whatever, in, you know, beginning of December last year. Not that I was trying to, and this year I was probably throwing 85 at that time. So just a little different character the offseason.
Can you tell us about the new pitches?
Yeah, just a cutter and a running 2-seamer. Really just trying to create more swing decisions, basically. That's what it boils down to.
What's the year one to year two difference in terms of maybe less of that first day of school feeling and more of that I'm here and I want to be a guy in the room to kind of be maybe a little more of a leader kind of guy or what?
Yeah, it definitely feels different. And like I said, with the number of new guys versus returners, we have and again last year I was meeting everybody. But it feels to me specifically that there are a lot more returners this year than last year. So it's definitely less of that, like I'm the new kid at school, but more so like, hey, welcome to second grade. All your first grade friends are back, and it was a long summer. But yeah, so good to see everybody, and we have a unique opportunity to create a dynamic within the locker room this year.
Last year, you talked a lot about picking guys' brains for different things. Do you see guys trying to pick your brain a little bit more now that you have a year in the bigs under your belt?
Yeah, I think a little bit. And I think we've also, within the Pirates specifically, we have a year that we understand each other, basically, so we can ask better questions. Guys have been stewing over some questions throughout the offseason. They've changed how they train, that kind of thing. So we can have different conversations now. But it's exciting, really, to be able to have these conversations that we didn't have or weren't able to have last year, and it's already started. It's exciting.
Well, last year you came in, as you said, trying to make the team, and knowing that there's, I guess, early enough for spring training to start the season in AAA. This year you come in, kind of like people would identify you as the ace or anchor of the staff. How much different is that? Just the idea that where you wanted to make the majors and were looking forward to your debut versus then coming in as a guy who started the All-Star game, was the National Rookie of the Year, finished third in Cy Young voting, and could be the anchor of the staff.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a different character from last year for me specifically. But nice thing is we have a lot of returning guys within the staff, and we can create it. The goal is that I push Jared and Mitch and Bailey and Oviedo and all those guys, and then they push me back, and we'll get better regardless of who the anchor or whatever. If we make the fifth guy, or I shouldn't say that, but if we raise the floor on our staff, that's and as well as raise the ceiling, like that's the goal, is just to get better as we go on. That's kind of the opportunity, I think, regardless of who is the guy. Hopefully just pushing everybody and making everybody better. So that's gonna result in us winning a lot of games.
Do you want to be the guy that's the opening day starter?
Yeah, I mean that'd be an honor. It'd be really cool. Got to pitch well done.
You spent some off-season time with guys who are doing what you were trying to do last year. Make the roster. Guys like Bubba, Thomas, Hunter Barco. I wouldn't say falls into that category, but isn't far away. What have you just seen from them this offseason, and what have you seen them do so far here?
Yeah, I've gotten a chance to watch a couple of their bullpens. Got a chance to watch a couple of their bullpens in the offseason too. They have a good plan. They have a good awareness, self-awareness of what they need to do. They know, I think, where they are, where they stand, and they're obviously they're motivated. So that's not something you have to worry about with those guys. But yeah, it's exciting to see them knowing that they're going to be with us soon.
There are a couple bullpens to Joey so far. Kind of, how's that relationship developed just as pitcher catcher?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, we had a lot of good conversations last year. We've had a lot of good conversations throughout the offseason, and then hoping to catapult that into the season this year. Whoever the catcher's going to be, that's the goal. So continue to build that relationship, understand each other more, because the goal with your catcher is understanding what they're thinking and them understanding what you're thinking. So we're on our way there.
You were 85 in December. Where were you out there today? Were you happy with where you were?
I have no idea what I was today.
Were you happy with your velo?
Yeah,
at this point in camp?
The biggest thing, like the velo for me is it's there. Like, it's not something I'm training anymore. It's not something that I'm that's a focal point. It's just kind of there. So I don't know what I was today. I'll find out at some point. The biggest, I know that my body feels good. If I was 94 today, I would be concerned, but it wasn't 94 today. I know because some other people would have been concerned if it were. But no, I'm biggest thing. I'm just happy that I feel good. Shapes are good. Command's gonna come, and so fired up about all that.
Paul, you were diligent and respectful of the process last spring and into the season, but how much, is there relief, excitement knowing that you come in and it's not, like you said at the end of the season, just next year hopefully it's just pitched, and does it feel like that, and you sort of just relieved that we're at this stage as opposed to where we were last year?
Yeah, I mean, definitely different. I don't know about relief because it's just, it's just a different situation. I was comfortable with where I was at last year. I was comfortable with the process. Because at the end of the day, it's about pitching well. I was happy with how, as frustrating as it was at the beginning of the season last year, I was happy with how everything went. Understand it. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. That they did a really good job with me last year, and I kind of knew, as much as I didn't want to believe it, that I kind of knew that was how it's going to be when I came into camp last year. And so it's just different. It's about being my best self and pitching at the highest level that I can, regardless of who's in the box and where I'm at.
How different is it for you from a fan expectation? You came in and lived up to the expectations last year. Now it seems like people are really wanting to raise the bar even more. Can you kind of feel that as you go about your business, just both in the off season and then just seeing the fans out here today looking for even more just great things from you in a sense?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Obviously it's a privilege. It's not something that I'm going to run away from. It's also, it's not something that I noticed a ton. I noticed it a little bit in the off season, but I noticed it today, and that was pretty much the first time that I've noticed it. So, things change. People talk to you differently, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's about executing. So that's been the focus, and that will remain the focus.